Hi, this is Jason Boozy, real estate investor, and today I want to talk to you about how to make $2 million on one house. Have you ever made $2 million on one house? Very few real estate investors have. Well, I have. Actually, it was a hair short of 2 million. It was about 1.9 million. I'm going to talk to you about it, how step by step, how I did that deal, and how there's actually plenty of deals like it out there in certain markets. And whether you're in that market or doing it remotely, you have access to these types of deals. You just may not be aware of it. So let's go over it. First of all, it was a development type deal. What does that mean? That means new construction. So taking an old existing house and building a new one on it. Okay, let's talk about these numbers right now. The neighborhood at the time, this is here in the San Francisco Bay Area, high-end market once again. The neighborhood at the time, homes were selling for about $1.5 to $2 million for older homes. There were also at the same time, till the present day, going on for about the last 10 or 15 years, probably 15 or so. These older homes were built in the 1950s and they're being torn down since the early 2000s, and new homes are being built in their place. Why? Because the land is so expensive that nobody that's buying a new house in 2020 or 21 or 22 or 23 or even in 2010, nobody wanted to live in an old 1950 house that they're paying 7 figures for. They're paying for the land and the location, and they want to build or live rather in a brand new house built in the 2000s that's maybe 2,500 or 3,000 or 3,500 or 5,000 square feet. Not a 1,100 square foot 3-bed, 1-bath home from the 50s. The land is so expensive, that's what you're essentially paying for in these high-end areas. The land usually has an old house on it. It's not raw land because it's in an already developed city or suburb. So for this old house, again, built in the 50s, I paid $1,480,000, okay? That was a discount from the market value, which was probably 200 to 300,000 higher than that, even in the current condition that the house was. The beauty of it was the house was on a large lot, a little over 9,000 square feet. The beauty of that is that that means you can build more and you're going to have a larger yard for whoever buys it. So that increases the value. If the same house, instead of on a 9,000 square feet house or lot, was on a 6,000 square foot lot, it would be worth probably 25 to 35% less, about a third less, just for not being on that large of a lot. We bought the old house for $1,480,000. I had a couple partners on this. The construction cost was $850,000. Let me break that down for you. At the time, it was about $250 a square foot. It was a 3,200 square foot house. So that's $800,000 if you do the math. And then if you add the cost of demolition and permits, that's another $50,000. So total it costs about $850,000 to build a brand new 3,200 square foot beautiful house on the slot. This was essentially the cost of the lot. So when you add these two up, your total investment is $2,330,000. The cost of the purchase, the cost of construction. We sold the old house. This process took a little over a year. It took about 6 months to get plans. You know, you work with an architect to get plans and you submit them to the city and then you get permits back. That took about 6 months. Depending on the city, it could be a little faster, a little slower, but in this case, it took about 6 months. And then the construction took an additional 6 months. So the whole process of doing this project of new construction took about a year. The total investment was $2,330,000. Most of it was financed, not that much out of pocket. Most of this can be financed. The original loan to purchase the house, as well as the construction loan, most of it can be financed. Total investment, a little over $2.3 million. Sold the property for $4.5 million. The net profit was $1.9 million, just shy of $2 million. Why is the net profit less than the difference here? Because of commission and closing costs. Commission is about 5%. That's $225,000 right here. Then you have some closing costs. So $1.9 million net profit on one property. Now, it's important to mention a couple things. First of all, this will not work in every area. There are areas that just don't support the high cost of building a new home. I don't know if you've been following this, but the cost of lumber, for instance, these days is triple or quadruple what it was just a year ago. The cost of labor has gone up and it's harder to get contractors. So not every area will support building a brand new house, especially at these prices. But there are many high-end areas that will. Also, some high-end areas, all the homes were built in the last 10 years. So it doesn't make sense to take an old house, tear it down, and build a brand new one. So where do you want to do it? You want to do it in areas where the spread, the difference between what the old homes are selling for and what the new homes are selling for is significant, and where there's an inventory of older homes and there's a demand, most importantly, for new homes at seven-figure prices. So you want to look for that. And that tends to be in certain higher-end areas that are built up, that have been built maybe 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago, but they're in the process of being upgraded. The properties are being renovated or new ones are being built. You don't want a brand new subdivision because it doesn't make sense usually to tear down and build new. And you don't want where there isn't the prices to support it. And you don't want to be the first one doing this. You want to make sure there's at least one or two others in the neighborhood so you have comps to draw on and examples. I should point out one more thing. Development and these kind of numbers or even bigger numbers can also be done with multi-unit properties and not just building one house. And we'll talk about that in a further video. But this has been an actual example that I did, and I've done many and made seven figures on many of just one house, making nearly $2 million in one house. So this has been Jason Boozy, Real Estate Mentor. Stay tuned for more videos. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, it's part of a free 5-day challenge. This is a 5-day challenge where we teach you how to do big six-figure real estate deals. To get the rest of these free videos, all you have to do is click the link below the video. That's going to take you to a page where you enter your email address, and we will immediately send you more free videos for our free challenge right away. If you liked this video, click the like button or thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe for more videos and comment on what you'd like to learn more about for future videos. We want to teach you how to do those big six-figure deals. This has been Jason Boozy, real estate investor and mentor.